The handling though, my God, this thing is 2023 Acura Integra A-Spec. This car is powered by a 1.5 liter turbocharged inline 4, making 200 horsepower, 192 pound-feet of torque. It's the same engine from the current gen Civic Si, and it does come with an LSD. But it does pay a penalty because it's an Acura, because it's more luxurious. It weighs 3,070 pounds. That's about 120 pounds more than the Civic Si. The MSRP for this vehicle, that's the Integra A-Spec with the technology package, is right around $37,000. And note that that is the only way to get this car with a manual. The tech package includes adaptive dampers, a 10.2-inch digital gauge display, ELS audio, wireless phone charging, faux suede seat inserts, and power adjustable front seats. But in terms of mods, the owner has done a K&N filter, swift lowering springs on the front, that's 4K, and swift coilover springs on the rear, that's 8K, with the factory adaptive dampers, and also 1.5 degrees of negative camber up here in the front. We've got Porterfield R4-S street brake pads, and he's gone with a 225 section with RT 615K plus Falcon tires. I like that little startup animation. This car isn't budget, but you may be value-minded. For those who are into watches, we got the Revelo Mechadromo Mecha Quartz watch, 250 bucks or less, depending on what color and stuff you get. And I figure it's very automotive inspired, perforated leather. Got the chronograph function, which acts like a mechanical watch, because look at this. You got the small, the high frequency beat. It's essentially combining the best of both quartz and mechanic. So figure you guys might like it. The interior in this generation is awesome. Even in the Civic is actually really awesome. Over here you get a few nicer touch points, some nicer materials, but for the price you can't complain. Nice, very tactile, HVAC, don't have to do it through a screen. Nice shift knob right here, 6-speed manual. Seating position is rather upright, but that makes sense. This is a sedan, so you can fit people behind you. And let's see how she drives. We're gonna start this off in normal mode. Let's give you guys a pull. $6,500 RPM red line. I can already feel that the power to weight ratio here is not as optimal as in the Civic Si. That extra 120 pounds is making this engine feel a little bit sluggish. And also as you build towards redline, it has that very characteristic turbocharged inline 4 character. It has more mid-range and it really dies off towards the top. Also not very loud, not very present, not very forward, even when you put it into sport mode. Let's do that. Actually, we'll do individual, which has... Oops. Let's not do that. There we go. Everything is at sport and we can toggle as needed. Rev match is not engaged. The handling though, my God, this thing is planted. You have these lighter inputs. Even in sport mode with the steering, it's still on the lighter side. And you can dial that back. Yeah, instantly gets a little bit lighter. I think for the kind of driving we're doing, I do prefer the sport. Shifter is also very low effort. It has this nice mechanical feel. It's crisp going from neutral to each gate. And even the pedals, the brake pedal, you ease into the stopping force here. It's not super bitey and immediate. You have these lighter effort inputs and this handling characteristic, this handling nature that just encourages you to push it because it's actually so confidence inspiring. With the low power, it's not getting out from underneath you. So you want to push it harder and harder. Slow car, fast mentality. And you can just chuck this thing and they'll take it. It is very difficult to upset. I absolutely love that. Now, unlike its bigger brother, the Integra Type S and Civic Type R, it doesn't have dual-axis McPherson strut front suspension. And you may think, oh, that's going to have terrible torque steer, but remember that dual-axis is primarily there to reduce torque steer in higher power vehicles. Those cars are making over 300 horsepower, and even then you notice torque steer when you stomp on it mid-corner, or even at corner exit. Whereas here, because it is making so little power, you don't need that dual axis because you're not getting any torque steer. Really wish this thing had 30, 40 more horsepower. With bolt-ons and a tune, you could probably get there, and you might still not have any issues with torque steer. But as you start increasing that power more and more, that is a trade-off. Steering here is more numb than I would like, but again, because it doesn't have torque steer, it's not corrupted as many modern front-wheel drive vehicles are. That's one of the benefits with actually having less power. I'm tempted to shift down into second on some of these lower speed corners, but then I have to remind myself it really dies off near red line. So keeping it more mid-range right now in third is actually ideal. Man, you can just chuck this thing like none other. However, with the steering, you're not getting much feedback, much texture, much loading mid-corner. It's very subtle. This is electric power assist, but it's also just the tuning and the setup of that E-Pass. They didn't optimize it for that, but at least feels a little bit more pure without having that additional torque steer to worry about. Both this and the Civic Si are the same underneath the skin, more or less. This has a little bit more weight, and honestly, I would probably go Civic Si, save a bit of money, get a better driving experience in the sense that it's lighter, and you still have a great interior there. This is if you want a little bit more comfort, a little bit more polish. You like the styling of the car, you want the Acura rather than the Honda. But they both handle so incredibly well. So endearing when you get behind the wheel. Low effort inputs, high magnitude fun. And it does it in a way without needing to rip your face off with performance or impress you with 0 to 60. It gives you decent steering, relatively sharp. I mean, he did add extra negative camber. Relatively sharp for a car like this. A nice, enjoyable manual transmission. Well-placed pedals. That's all you need. Good inputs. A car that encourages you to push it a bit. It gives you that confidence. You don't have to worry, especially if you're a driver that just wants to push the car, not have to worry as much about oversteer. And you can induce oversteer with trail braking in these front-wheel drive vehicles, the Civic Type R and the Integra Type S as an example. But even with these cars, if you chuck it hard enough, you can get a little bit of dynamic motion out of it. But for the most part, very planted, very stable, and it puts a smile on your face just based on how hard it tells you to keep pushing it. So my friends, let me know what you think of the Acura Integra A-Spec with a comment down below. Big thanks to the owner, Jason, for letting us review his car. Big thanks to Fenton from the Zygreen channel for making this review possible. If you want your car reviewed, visit us on jabalandcars.com. Fill out that form on the homepage. Much love, my friends, and I'll see you all in that next one.